Welcome back. As you can see, BigRed's in the garage. What I'm doing today, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the 360 out. In a previous video, a while ago actually, I'd found some metal in the oil, so I quit driving it. It's been sitting for a while now, and she still runs great, but I was concerned about the metal in the oil, so take this opportunity to do a 318 swap. So this is 360 Magnum. Going to be going with the 318 Magnum and putting the same cam, heads, intake manifold, and then take the truck to the track, see how it runs compared to the 360. Truck ran 1271 in the quarter at 105 and an 807 at 85 miles per hour in the 8th mile. So gonna see how the 318 compares. Just a little testing, but gonna go ahead and get started. The 318 here, I rebuilt a few months ago. There's videos on that, so if you want to see that, you can check that video out, but we'll go ahead and get started. Built this engine in 2015, and I've had to do zero work on it, so be curious to see what we find, other than it being dirty, super dirty from sitting outside. So here is the magic sound behind BigRed. It's long tube headers, 2.5 inch collector here, and then going to a MagnaFlow X pipe, 2 MagnaFlow 30 inch glass packs, and then just turn downs. Painted it with some heat black, and that is, I don't know, 6 years old. Still looking good other than some pollen on there. All this get cleaned up. I'm gonna continue working underneath since I have the truck jacked up. Starter, torque converter, some of the bell housing bolts, and then come up here, get to work. Got the battery disconnected. That thing's so dead, doesn't really matter anyway. 2016, but had to use the jump pack to start it off. Worked great. Still using that little Top Don jump box right here. It's the 1200 series. They have like a 3000 also. Then I have a Top Don battery tester, alternator tester. That also works great. So gonna continue underneath the truck. Show you guys some updates later. It's now right after 10. I started at 9 o'clock. But as you can see, the headers are off. Starter, flywheel bolts, or flex plate bolts are out. Torque converter bolts. Have some of the bell housing bolts off, and drain the oil, which is right here. This was changed a few months ago when I found the metal in it, so I'm gonna pour this into a little bucket here and see what we have, see if it's as bad as it was last time. But like I said, hadn't been driving it that much, so we'll see. Good Lord, I made a mess. So, can't tell what that is. Doesn't look near as bad as last time. Okay, so the oil doesn't look that bad, but like I said, I haven't run the truck very much. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it down, pull the lower radiator hose, upper radiator hose, all the front stuff off. Looks pretty dirty, but get the front end off and get this sucker out of here.
Dude, I like your new truck.
Yeah, got another Ford.
another Ford.
Went to borrow a engine stand, because we're short an engine stand because we got 3 occupied right now. Ended up with a whole new rig, truck, trailer.
Look back there. There's a truck, a trailer, engine stand, a bigger hoist.
HD hoist, because I've got a regular D hoist.
So here we go. All courtesy to Mr. Tully once again.
Just got back to the house, and we grabbed that stuff because my engine hoist has trouble getting that far into the truck. I had trouble with it last time I did the engine. So gonna go ahead and take all the front dress off here and the carburetor and stuff, get the wiring laid over, and then we'll be good to get this thing out of here. About to snatch it out. I have 2 bolts holding it in. Motor mounts are all loose, and as you can see, she's pretty filthy, but we're gonna take care of that here in a little bit. This hoist has plenty of room for us. Like I said, my little hoist was hitting the bumper whenever I installed the engine a while back ago, but it's time to get this thing out.
Yeah, and it's got, there's probably 18 inches of boom left in here. Like, it's crazy how much more there is.
It's got all the boom.
It's got all the boom.
Click, click, boom. Old B&M, when they made the Magnum flex plates, and I shimmed it that way the distance from the converter, like pull out of the transmission, would work. So I ended up having to put a spacer on it. But yeah, this is discontinued, Magnum balanced, part number 10242. Can't get those anymore.
Where do it go?
Over there.
Where do it go?
Over there. .360 is out. We've already started taking a couple things off. I'm gonna take the intake manifold off. Gonna clean that. Take a water pump timing cover off so we can get the camshaft out of here. And then I'll also show you the port job on my heads, because I did these ports a long time ago. It took me about 20 hours worth of port work. First ones I ever did. So we'll take a look at that, compare it to another set of heads that I have out back. But moving right along, as you can see, this thing is dirty. I keep mentioning it, but it is. Everything's looking clean and happy right now. These are Hughes engines, valve springs, Hughes cam, double roller, timing chain. Gonna reuse that stuff. But nothing looks hurt. Camshaft looks all good. Get these heads off and see what else we got. Get the oil pan off. Get the camshaft out. Hopefully we don't have any damage and we can go straight together with the 318. Need to find a motor mount for the driver's side. Let's go. Cylinder heads are off, and these gaskets, Felpro 9898 PT. There is nothing to clean up with the exception of that little guy right there. Pretty impressive. 7 years. Here, let's peel it off.
Runs 12s.
Hashtag runs 12s. Look at that. Beautimous. David's taking the spiders off for the rockers. I mean the roller lifters.
There you go.
And quick look at the cylinders. Running rich. Running rich, running rich, running rich. Rich is safe. But anyways, everything's looking good. Gonna take these lifters out. I have brand new lifters. We're not gonna worry about those. And then time to take this cam out. Give her a look over, see if there's any metal in the bearings. Hopefully not. Dude, look at this unit though. I mean, she is pretty. It's been so long since I've even seen this thing. It's just... them lobes. Some good duration, good lift. Part number. SER 2226AL in 08. 08 is the lobe separation. Find where to put it in a clean spot. Somebody might go in the house. In the house.
You want to take his camshaft and go put it in the bed?
Yeah.
That big old puddle.
Like no bueno.
Mofo hungry over here chewing on blue paper towel.
Blue paper towel. Night.
Camshaft sleeping bag.
Oh, what is that? Is that a pistachio?
You got a nugget?
I need an oil pan. Drain pan.
That's over.
The black one?
Yeah. Here, look at that guy.
Got a dang handful of bolts.
You got a handful of bolts?
Not doing good right here.
You got a handful of bolts now?
Yeah.
Well, here, we're recording all this. Don't worry.
That's okay. I can edit. I do that thing.
There's still a little bit of contaminant in this. Do we want to wipe it out first?
What is that?
What is that old seashells by the seashore?
What is that?
I don't know.
It's like an acorn or something.
That is in
No, it's plastic. It must be some kind of plastic. What is that? I don't know. Anyways, there's doesn't appear to be any metal in here at all, so I don't know what's going on. There's no metal. Oh well, we might have just tore his motor out for nothing.
a little bit of condensation.
Yeah, condensation. But you can see that's oil that I didn't drive it for a long time, and it just kind of there's normal wear right there. All right, clean her up. Move on.
Figure out what that is.
So looking at the oil and also the pickup, I don't see any signs of metal, so not sure what happened. I wiggled the rods seem fine, so I'm not sure what's going on with the metal in the oil pan. You can see there's a slight bit of wear from the cam there, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just push this one to the side, get the 318 going back together, because I really just want to get it in the truck tonight so I can take the stuff that I borrowed back to the owner. But goal tonight, get the motor sitting in the truck. Okay, so it is now 6 o'clock, way later than I thought I would, you know, when I would be at this point. But anyways, Dave is getting the timing cover cleaned up and the seal installed. I went ahead and got the camshaft in. Timing gear is on. It is set at 0. This cam, or this gear set, has like 2 degrees before and 4 degrees after, 2 degrees retarded, 2 degrees advanced. Didn't do any of that, just set it straight up. The cam is Hughes 555 lift, 223, 227 duration, brand new roller lifters. Oil pump's on. So I think we're about to put the heads on. Timing cover, water pump, balancer. You got a brand new balancer. It is up here. Internally balanced balancer, and I also have to put the flex plate for the 318 internally balanced, different than the 360. Also, you can see this is a 318 flat top pistons. Went ahead and put some assembly lube on the camshaft. Getting close. Closer. You alright over there?
Yes. Just need a bigger table.
Need a bigger garage.
One day.
All right, here is my ported head that I just took off the engine versus a stock head, and just want to show you the differences. I went ahead and took as much of where the push rod goes through. I took as much as I could, or thought I could, off of that, so you can see a little bit there. Kind of gasket matched a little bit. You can see I didn't quite get there. There's where the gasket is. This side's pretty good. And then if you look up in there, hopefully you can see. Let's see where the valve is, the valve guide. I made the valve guide a point, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but I made the valve guide a point on both of them. So as you can see on this, you better see it over here, it's just rounded, and I took all that material off of there and made it a point. I cut all that material out of there and also took all this material out so that this had a smooth transition up to the valve. But I don't feel like taking the time to take valves out of mine, but it's hopefully a good view for you guys of what I did. And then on the exhaust side, I guess we can take a look at that too. Okay, here's the exhaust side. You should be able to see this one good because the valve's out. I took as much material as I could, especially up top here, to make it a straight through from the valve to the exhaust, and then I cut that to a point as well, or ground it to a point. So you can actually see that one, grounded it into a point. Took quite a bit of material off. Took quite a bit off down here, and it's worked real good. Here's another one. Here's another one. There we go. Another one. That one's better, easier to see right there. So anyways, gonna go ahead and stick these on the 318. Looks like you're pouring oil in there, buddy.
You know, I mean, it's how everybody does their oil changes. I can't believe we pulled this engine out just to do a dadgum oil change.
Just an oil change.
You're so weird.
So weird. As you can see, we've got almost a long block. Well, we got a long block. Everything's torqued. What we're doing now, he poured about 4 quarts of oil in. I'm gonna use the primer. I have an oil pressure gauge right there. We'll spin her up, see what happens.
Hey.
There's 60 pounds. It's making squirty noises.
Yep, everything on this side's getting some.
I've got most of my rockers have oil.
Yeah, we're gonna start putting it on the flow.
Are we? Oh, well, too many pressures. I'm gonna call it good, dude. We had 60. I mean, I'd hit it one more time just for grins, but
yeah, pretty happy though.
She spun up.
It spun up pretty quick.
So now that means intake manifold can go on, valve covers can go on, and I'm gonna eat dinner first. But we're getting close. We're gonna try to put it in tonight. I think it's creeping up on to 8 o'clock maybe, but we're gonna eat and keep going. Woo! Still at it. 10:46. 318 is looking good. Everything on the front here is tight. As you can see, the intake manifold's not on there. That's because I do not have an intake manifold gasket. I looked all over. I guess I used them throughout the years working on other stuff, but need the flex plate put on. Engine brackets are on. David's goofing off in the engine bay here. Is he gonna go?
It's gonna be
it's gonna be that same situation again.
You sure?
I'm very sure.
Time to call it a night. Had a little fight getting this guy in here. Had the bracket on that side swapped around, but I have 3 Bellhausen bolts on it. The motor mounts are just setting on there with the nut on it. Gonna leave it like that for tonight. You saw it's late. Got to clean up here. Have a huge mess, so really not gonna clean up this so much, but we got to get the garage closed. So some of the stuff back here needs to be put away so the tailgate can close and the garage can close. But we're getting there. That's, whoa. She's getting there. But tomorrow I'll come back out here, continue working on it. Don't want to end up leaving the Valiant outside for the week. So I need to make sure the Valiant gets back in here by tomorrow night, being Sunday night. So that's gonna do it for today. I'm gonna clean up, like I said, a little bit, and it's about bedtime. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you are liking the build. We'll see you next time.